Mr. Lockjack, I was wondering, given the somewhat laid-back culture of Trinidad and our laid-back work ethic, how do you motivate people around you to work? You know, how do you ensure high productivity levels?
I think that it's according to the industry you're in, according to what you're doing. All right, fine. Okay, we have a number of factories. What I find is that people in Trinidad work very well. But they work well if your machinery work. If your machinery isn't working well, then the people get frustrated and they think. So if you have old equipment in your factory and it keeps breaking down and this and that and the other, then it comes, you know, it's kind of a feeling around the whole place. People don't want to see that. And they chat, they talk, they go to the ladies' room, they go to the men's room, they this, that, the other, while the mechanic digging into the machine and that type of thing. So to me, productivity in today's life, does not necessarily come from labor. It comes from machinery. It comes from equipment. And people, I find, work if the equipment is working. And because they have their job to do, and they know and the machinery is making them work, actually, because things are coming out. They have to do something with it, whatever have you know, and so on. So the point is that, for me, I think that is right. If you're in a service industry or a construction industry, and you have people coming to site, instead of coming at 7 o'clock in the morning, coming at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they want to leave at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and so on, and that kind of bad work ethic that is there, then the problem with that in our society is that a lot of the contractors who have to manage these people do not necessarily manage. What they do is they pass the cost on to the person, the client. The client pays the cost for the low productivity and so on that. So now if we can find, in some cases, if you have fixed price contracts and various things and you're very diligent with your management of the project that you're into, then that contractor then will bloody well make sure that all the people coming to work is going to work because he is going to pay for it. But if you have loose arrangements that encourage that kind of behavior because it is not properly drawn up or whatever have you like that, then I think that people will take that, you know, and just go through that with that. And the question is, coming back to this, when you reach a state of Trinidad and Tobago where we have, 5% unemployment according to the statistics, approximately, well, whatever, I mean, 5%, right? That is almost full employment. And people then become very choosy with the jobs that they want. And for instance, in many of our factories, we can't get people to work the third shift. They don't want to work the third shift anymore. They can go somewhere else and get a job, or whatever have you. And when the boom was going on 2 years ago with a lot of construction, people were walking, going into a place, buying a trowel and saying they're a mason. Not much training, not much anything, and putting them together. Not necessarily the guy's fault, but it's the circumstances of the thing. So I think, in respect of motivating them, I think wherever you do and whatever you do, you always have to have a motivational aspect. You always have to motivate your people. And the more you motivate your people, it can only be better for your company. If you don't motivate them, something is wrong. You've got to keep motivating them. And you know, sometimes you sit down and you look at it and you say, okay, fine, what do we do? What do we do to motivate them more? What do we do to, and you need ideas and various things. But generally speaking, if people feel a part of the organization, and if people feel that they're important to you, and that their ideas are important, I mean, I could never sweep this floor here as good as the person who sweeps it every day. I don't know whether you sweep a vacuum, but okay, fine. because the person has a skill. He knows what he's doing. He understands that. Too often management don't listen to the people. And the people who are doing the job every single day of life, they have ideas. They ought to do it better. But the management is sometimes steeped in the old system that say, no, you can't change that, or whatever have you. Sometimes we complain that people don't want to change, but it's the same thing too with management. Many of them don't want to change. So if people feel that their ideas are being listened to and so on, man, they get excited about that, I think. I think they get things. So I think in the matter of how you treat it, how you treat people, I think that's very important. And as I said, the capital goods that you have, and so on. Put yourself in a salesman position. You're going out to this truck to go and sell the goods, and so on. And every day you go, the van break down somewhere. You have to, you have to get a wrecker to come and wreck the van and all kind of thing like that. I mean, you know, that's not his fault, right? And not to say that he's an unmotivated person. So you have to have the right tools, the right equipment for that person, again. And we need to modernize some of those areas. I still see workmen going around on ladders, pounding hammers, the nails going up there. And I always wonder why they don't have a hydraulic hammer. Put it in. But they don't have the tool, so they do that.